Hello, welcome back viewers. EasyB Tactical, I'm EasyB. This is a follow-up video on the Glock 45 MOS with Vortex Venom Red Dot that I finally installed. I have a link up here to the previous video I made when I got this Glock 45 MOS and I was trying to install the Vortex Venom. I got issued a new replacement unit. Let's talk about my first impression since I've installed it and what I've thought so far about the Vortex Venom. Before we get started, if you enjoyed today's video, give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel and share the video to your friends and folks anybody who think you might enjoy the content. According to the statistics on my YouTube channel, most views are actually not from the subscriber group. So I encourage you to subscribe. I have more contents coming up this year, a lot more gun and gear and some training components related. Thank you for your support and I appreciate you watching the video. Post a comment. Let's get started. So firearm safety, no round in the magazine, empty firearms. So last time we saw the video, I had the stock Glock sights on the firearm. I was trying to install a Vortex Venom Red Dot sight and I couldn't close the cap for the battery. I returned it and I got a new I bought a different one, the same one but a different one. Because the previous one was a 6 MOA, I returned the 6 MOA. I got a 3 MOA instead because I wanted a smaller dot. And I was right. The cap had an issue because as soon as I received this one, I looked at the cap. The previous one, the thread was completely broken. I don't know what happened when they shipped it to me. It looked brand new, but from the moment I opened the box and I looked at the cap when I was having issue, I could see the threads were quite short and they will only go, the battery cap will only go in without the battery. This one installed without any problem and I followed the exact same steps. I didn't have any single issue installing this, so I'm quite happy now that it's back to normal. The Vortex Venom Red Dot sight. This, as I mentioned, in aluminum housing. It has an auto brightness features that will adjust the brightness of the red dot based on the light intensity outside. And in the front, it may be hard to see, I'll have some close-up. In the front of the red dot sight, there's a tiny hole which is where the sensor is located. 2 button functions, up and down, up to turn on, down up to increase the brightness of the dot, down to reduce it. And also you can use the up and down button to turn on and off, and you can also use the up and down if you press the button down for 3 seconds, I believe, or until the dot blinks 3 times. That's how you activate the auto brightness settings. And when you hold the down button until the dot blinks 2 times, I believe that's when it turns off. At the brightest settings, it's rated for 150 hours. At the lowest settings of brightness, it's rated for 30,000 hours. Yes, I tend to run my dot not at the brightest, not at the lowest, but right after the lowest because I don't want it to be over bright. I like when it's a little dimmer so I can see more of my target. This is a red dot. I also like green dots, but this one is a red dot. I chose the Vortex Venom because price, number one, I'm getting into the red dot sight on a handgun, so I wasn't sure I would love it. And I didn't want to start with a Trigicon or something super expensive for $500, $600. They go crazy. So, and I also wanted something with the battery accessible from the top without having to remove the red dot. This one uses a CR1632 flat battery. And as you can see, and as I mentioned on the previous video, it's directly accessible from the top, so you don't have to remove the dot to change the battery. Many of the red dot sites, such as my Romeo Zero on the P365 XL, the battery is underneath. Actually, if I needed to replace it, I'll have to either remove the red dot side myself or have it removed. Right. So I'm getting started into red dot. I do have one on my carry, SIG Romeo Zero. It helps with faster target acquisition. I did take this one to the range only once since I've installed it to sight the dot, and I must say it felt pretty good. I was able to pick it up right away. I'm still getting used to when you point down seeing the dot leveled. The other thing I did is, since the video, I've added some new sights. I went with Ameriglo GL826, I believe, or 821. I forgot. I'll have to put the number in the video section. But anyway, I emailed Ameriglo, and they recommended these sights I was concerned about the width and the height of the red dot sight. But at the end of the day, I want to save you some money and effort. I don't think I needed to upgrade to such tall sights, because the Venom red dot, the Venom RDS, right at the back, on the back of the sights, you can't see because it's mounted and covered by the rear sight. But right behind, on the back of the red dot sight, you have two white lines that align perfectly with the original Glock sight. And after thought, now that I've received the red dot and I mounted it, the sight was just the Venom Vortex Venom is just tall enough or small enough to match with your stock Glock sight. So you can run it with the Glock sight stock. It wasn't covering the sights completely, and I should have left them, but I knew I was going to go suppressor because I like to run suppress. I definitely wanted some taller sights to account for any kind of cans I add to the handgun eventually. So speaking of which, these sights, Ameriglo, they look quite tall, but you get used to them very quickly, and they work very well because for the cans and suppressors that I have so far, they have the perfect sight. They fit quite well. As you can see, this is a Liberty Centurion, way well above the suppressor, so I can see it very well. On the Evan, I even put the big one. I tested this on the Hybrid 46, and sure enough, it's right at the edge of the suppressor. So the suppressor is just as tall as the sight. However, they match almost exactly at in height, so you can still aim. Let me try my hand. You can still use these sights with the suppressor, even a big one such as this Hybrid 46. And I actually shot this one at the range the other day when I was testing and sighting the red dot, and I'm able to clearly see just a little bit above the suppressor with the sight. So perfect combo. I really like these sights now because they covered, and they will cover any of my suppressor options so far. This is one of my big ones, except for the Wolverine PBS, which is fatter, which I would not use on the handgun for sure. I have to get more training, more time on the gun with the red dot. So hopefully I'm gonna get more speed when I go to some of the classes and training I'm doing. I'm hoping to get a little bit more edge. I typically tend to run things stock. As far as handgun, I never really put a lot of red dot sight in. I started with the SIG 365 XL. I put a Romeo Zero on it after I shot it stock for a while. Just because it was SIG and SIG, I felt like it's a good combo. But now I'm gonna get a few guns geared and set up to have red dot sight. Not too Gucci, but one of the projects I'm working on right now is this P80 Glock base, which I've got a slide already with also MOS optical system where I'll put a red dot sight. I have not decided which sight I'm going to put on this one, but also yeah, I got a threaded barrel for this one. So more to come on this one. It's a build. Basically I'm just trying to get this done. I have almost all the parts, but I can't find a Glock lower parts kit to complete this. So I'll have to order maybe the parts individually, but the costs are still way high. Ammo is still crazy. I really can't wait until I can go back out and shoot a lot more out in outdoor range, and then bring the camera and try to kind of do a series of videos where I'm just shooting the guns, you know. But I'm sure it will come anytime, pretty soon. Thank you for watching. If you enjoy the content, thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Let's grow this channel. Eventually, you know, I don't have any sponsorship. I don't have any, all those guns are usually mine or some cool viewers or some friend of mine who have collections of firearms as well. Sometimes I borrow a couple of their guns and review to the channel, or a few collection of them and review them for your pleasure. So if you're interested in supporting me, send me a message. I do have a Patreon site. I have a Facebook page. I have an Instagram account. I will also set up maybe a PO box to get mail or anything like that. But right now, I appreciate the comments. I really, you know, comments are fun. I get a lot of questions from folks sometimes. I don't always have the answer, but I can look it up and find out, or we can collectively help each other with knowledge. If you have certain topics you want to see, let me know. Eventually, after about 400 rounds, I'll probably post a follow-up on my thoughts on where I am now with my learning of red dot sights on handgun. Again, thank you for watching. Stay safe, take care, and talk to you soon. Very big. Okay, that's it. It's time to go to bed.